Hello everyone, good morning. It's a pleasure to welcome all the cadets and officers to the fourth day of this online course. I would like to place on record my heartfelt gratitude to the organizers, Principal Madam and Coordinator of Arulmigu, Palani Andavar Arts College for Women, Palani, which is in Tamil Nadu, and Colonel Bipul Chandranath sir, our commanding officer of 2TN Girls Battalion, Madurai. Today, I am going to briefly take you through important aspects of map reading, which I am hoping will greatly help you during your NCC training period and also while you're going to appear for your certificate exams. As you all are aware that map reading is offered by the Army wing of NCC to senior division boys and senior wing girls during their tenure of NCC training both in institution and in camps. Map reading is an art, it's a skill that you should learn to become a very good soldier. Hope this endeavor will prove fruitful and enriching. Let us now start with map reading. Before going into the class, let me introduce myself. I am Lt.Dr. R.Muthuselvi, Assistant Professor of Chemistry and Associate NCC Officer, working in Sri Meenakshi Government Arts College for Women, Madurai. What is map reading? Map reading is a practical skill. As per the definition, it is an act of interpreting or understanding the geographic information portrayed on a map. Being able to read a map is an essential life skill. You see the map which is there on the right hand side of your slide. So, to be able to read that map, you should know that most maps are using symbols rather than descriptions to show where things are. Most maps have legend for you to refer to, so you know what you are looking at. The legend will explain which symbols, colors, and shapes represent roads, footpaths, woods, buildings, rivers, and much more. Map reading is an extremely useful skill, and to do this you need to derive essential information presented by the map such as distance, direction, natural and man-made features, and topographical features. You need to interpret the map to find land elevations, contour lines, and locate objects. So basically, what is map reading is? Map reading is you should understand or you should be able to interpret all the informations that is given on the map. So if you're able to interpret what is there on the map, then you are a skilled map reader. Next, what is a map? Now, map is a drawing or geographical representation of the land as viewed from air, from a great height. This perspective is called the aerial view or map view. As land, we are land-bound creatures. As land-bound creatures who usually walk across the land rather than fly above it, the map view is not the natural perspective for humans. Rather, we have more of a side view of the land surface. So a map is it's simply a drawing or a picture of a landscape or a location that you should be able to look from above, directly from above. So if you're able to see, you see the map on the right hand side of your slide. That is the Indian map. So if you want, why that Indian map is drawn is, if you want to know about the land features of India, then you need to actually look from above. You need to have an aerial view. So if you have that aerial view, then you can actually depict all the land features that are there on the land. But we cannot have an aerial view because we are living on land. So to know about that aerial view, we have a map. That is the reason why we have a map. So maps have 5 important features. They will have a title, a legend, a compass rose, it will indicate direction, and it will have a scale. So that is the beauty of a map, that can be used in a variety of different ways, from navigation, establishing ownership, by presenting information. So I hope you have understood what is the need for a map. Next, what are the types of maps? There are many types of maps which are usually labeled based on what they are trying to show, and they have a set of rules that decide how they are made. But though there are a lot of maps, we will take into account 6 different types of maps, which is political map, physical map, topographic map, climatic map, economic or resource map, and road map. And in NCC, amongst all these 6 types of maps, we make use of topographic map. So topographic map is the map that is very important in NCC. Now, why are we using topographic map? Why in NCC topographic map is given so much of importance? We use topographic map because this type of map combines features found in road maps combined with lines and symbols that give detailed information regarding the topography. That is, changes in elevation of the land surface. These special lines, called topographic contours, are drawn based on surveying information and can give a very accurate and detailed view of both vertical elevation and horizontal map. Dimensions, all in a convenient 2-dimensional sheet of paper. So topographical map, sometimes it is also called a line map or a general purpose map. It actually portrays all the terrain features in a measurable way. You can see a topographical map on the right hand side of the slide, and the topographical map actually stands out from the other maps by showing detailed elevation with contour lines, helping to map the landscape, and you can work out your location by following the contour and the landscape around you. I hope you have understood the importance of topographical map. So topographic map is the map that is used in NCC to find locations and the landscape around us. Topographic maps are also called as contour maps, and topographic maps are an excellent planning tool and guide. You can use a topographic map which has got contour lines and coloring and shading to help locate your landmark, the land where you are actually there at present. So you can use a topographic map and then you can find your landmarks where you are present with that map. Now on topographic maps, one should always look for what? On topographic maps, first you should look for the name of the area or the piece of land mapped. Then you should look for the name of the type of project for which it is used. Okay, after the name and the type of project, you should look for the exact location of the piece of land. And after you find out the exact location, you should look for the name of the person or the people who made surveys on which the plan or map is based. Okay, after you look for the person or the people, you should see the date on which the survey was made. After you look at the date, then you should look for the direction of magnetic north. And after you see the magnetic north, you should look for the scale with which the map was planned and drawn. And then after the scale, you should look for contour intervals if it is the vertical relief that is shown on the map. And after that, you should see the key or guide that has all the symbols drawn on it. So these are all the information which is given on a legend, and this legend will be at the corner of a map. You can see the legend, the symbol at the bottom of the slide. So that legend is there on every map, and legend will give you all the information of that particular topographical map. Like I said, the name, name of the place, name of the project, your location, and the person who actually did the survey, the date, magnetic north, scale, contour intervals, and your symbols. Everything will be there on the legend, and every topographical map will have a legend at the corner of the map. Mostly it is at the bottom of the map. Now, you all know that topographical maps are also called as contour maps. Now, why do we call them as contour maps? The reason why we call them as contour maps is because the topographical map is actually made up of contour lines. Now, contour lines are orange or brown squiggly lines with numbers next to them. That is, you see the contour lines in an orange or you see them as an orange or brown lines on the map, and they will have numbers next to them. The lines actually represent the elevation of the landscape, and the numbers tell you the height. Each line is above the mean, how high it is above the mean sea level. So the closer together the contour lines are, the steeper the slope will be. For example, if contour lines are closer, then they are indicating mountains. If they are slightly apart, then they are indicating gentle slopes. And if they are far apart, then they are actually indicating flat terrains. So what is a contour line? A contour line on a map is something that joins two points of equal heights, and it is the standard method of showing relief on a topographical map. See, you see the diagram on the right hand side of your slide. You see the first photo that you see is the actual mountainous range on the land, and below that you see the topographical map with the contour lines. So the contour lines are in circles, and these circles actually show you the lines that are joining of equal height. So these lines are useful as if you're planning for a route, or you can get a good picture of how steep it will be, so that you are prepared for going to that place. Mostly you see most of the topographical maps have a scale of 1:50,000. So if you have a scale of 1:50,000, then the contour lines, between two contour lines, the interval is mostly 10 meters. It can be 5 meters also, but mostly it is 10 meters. Now, after contour lines, let us now move to conventional signs and symbols. So what are conventional signs and symbols? Now, every map contains a legend or a key, and it will list the features and the signs or symbols that is used in the map for showing all the features on the land. So the features that are repeatedly represented on maps are depicted by special signs and symbols, and they are called conventional signs and symbols that are used to mark necessary objects and physical features of the area on the map. A standard system of conventional symbols and colors are used to represent various features on topographical map, which makes it more informative as well as legible for an easy study. Now, conventional signs and symbols are very easy to learn, and they make using a map much more easier, much more clearer. So what are symbols and what are the conventional signs are? It is like whatever you see on the land, you have to represent that on the map. So what is represented on the map is, you can't actually take the object that is present on the map, that is present on the land as such on the map. So to represent whatever is there on the land on the map, we use symbols, and these symbols are mostly not the same as what you see on the land. It can be smaller, it will be definitely much smaller than what you see on the land. So symbols that are mainly used are on a map are of three types. We use line symbols, point symbols and area symbols. The symbols that are usually used is generally a dot or a picture. For example, you can use a temple or a church or a school as a symbol. And the list of symbols that is given on a map is referred to, you all know, as legend or a key. So these are the usual conventional signs that you see on a map. You see conventional signs and symbols such as roads, which are metalled or unmetalled. You see footpath with a bridge. You can see streams, dams, wells, railway lines, contours, cliffs, temples, church, mosque, tomb, grave, lighthouse, forest. If forest can be reserved or protected. Then you can see international boundaries, benchmarks, villages. All these are conventional signs and symbols that you see on a map. This is again a whole list of conventional signs and symbols that you can see on a map, and you know all these conventional signs and symbols are given in the form of a legend, which is the key to a map. So if you are able to interpret that key, if you are able to understand the symbols, then it will be easy for you to read a map. So map reading will be much more easier if you start to understand all the symbols and the conventional signs that is given on the map, which is there present in the legend. If you are able to interpret that, if you are able to understand that, then reading the map will be much more easier for all of us. Hope you people have understood conventional signs and symbols. So in continuation with conventional signs, next let us study about colors. You know, specific colors show certain area features on a map. As I told you earlier in the earlier slides, that point, line and area symbols are used to depict various physical and cultural features. They can be depicted in the form of alphabets, figures, signs and colors. We have a standardized set of conventional signs and symbols that is used in topographical maps, and they have been assigned different colors. So mainly we use 7 types of colors. Now the 7 types of colors are black, red and brown, blue, green, brown and red. Now what does black depict? You know, black, all writings on the map except grid numbers are given in black. It is actually used for indicating cultural, that is man-made features. For example, river banks, broken ground, streams, surveyed trees, heights and their numbering, that is trees with their numbers, railway lines, boundaries, metalled roads that are under construction, meter gauge, etc. So all these are shown in black. Next, red and brown. Red and brown, this combination of color indicates cultural features such as major roads, then certain relief features and contour lines. Blue, you know, blue color is used for showing water features or water bodies like rivers, ponds, tanks, wells, etc. Green, you all know green identifies vegetation such as wood, forested area, orchards, scattered trees, scrubs, etc. So all vegetation is actually shown in green. Brown, brown identifies cultivated land. In some topographic maps, instead of brown, it is also represented in yellow. So cultivated land is shown in brown. In older maps, brown color is actually used for relief and contours also. Now red, the color red shows grid lines, the east and north along with their numbers. Then it shows roads, cart track, footpath, huts, buildings. And in older maps, red is actually used for showing populated areas. See, on your right hand side of the slide, you can see the topographic map with the colors depicting certain area features. So that is also given at the bottom of the map. So which color is depicting what. Next, so you know we have a lot of terrains around us. Now these terrain features also can be seen on the topographical map in the form of contours. The contour lines actually will show you the different types of terrains that is seen on the map. Now what type of terrains that we majorly see is we see hills, saddles, valleys, ridges and spurs. Now you might want to know what is a terrain. Now terrain is just a physical feature of an area of land. For example, your terrain can be a rocky terrain, or you can be living in a jagged coastline. So terrain or relief involves the vertical and horizontal dimensions of land surface. Now I told you about the major terrains that we are going to now see. See, I have shown you the picture of that particular terrain along with the contour lines. So first see, it is a hill. You know, hill is an area of high ground. So the topmost part of the hill is seen as the smallest circle in the contour lines of the maps. So the hill is shown in the form of concentric lines. So the smallest circle that you see in the innermost part is the topmost part of the hill. So all the rounded, completely closed circle tells you about one hill. So you have the smallest, toppest hill at the center of the topographic map. The next one is saddle. So in the picture you can see the saddle. Saddle is the dip between two high grounds. So that dip is called as saddle. So you can see the dip in the map also. The gap that you see between two circles is called as saddle. Next, valley. So what is a valley? You see the map of the valley also, and you see in the contour lines on the map also in the form of contour lines. A valley is a groove in the land usually formed by a stream or a river. So valley begins with high ground on three sides. So on all the three sides you have big high grounds, and on the fourth side you have a running water. So on the map it is shown as a V. Okay, you have it actually in the map, a valley with U shaped or wide V shaped is a valley in the map. So you can see in this map it is like first it is V shape, then it becomes U shape. That is valley. Now what is a ridge? Next photo is a ridge. Now ridge is a sloping line of high ground. So from the high ground the line will come down, it will slope down. And you can see that in the map also contour lines are showing ridge. So see, it is concentric circles, and then again it is moving, coming down, and the circle is not closing. So that is called as ridge. The next diagram that you're seeing or the next photo that you see is a spur. A spur is a short ridge. What is a spur? The ground will slope downwards in three directions and it will move upward in one direction. So in three directions it is coming down, in one direction it is going up. So if you see something like that, then it is called as ridge. So ridge is seen in the picture as it is a terrain, and the same you can see it in the contour lines also. So that is ridge. So I hope you have understood how terrains are shown on a map with contour lines. Next, let us move on to map scale. You all know that map scale is the most essential element on a map. Okay, so to be most useful, a map must show locations and distances accurately on a sheet of paper of convenient size. The proportion chosen for a particular map is scale. So The definition of a scale is, it is a relationship between the distance on a map and the real distance on the Earth's surface. So a scale on a map is used to know the local details of a specific area. So scale is a tool that you use on a map to know the distances on the map. See, you can see the scale that I have shown in the figure. Okay, so scale can be expressed as a representative fraction in a ratio method, or it can be expressed as a line scale or a statement scale. So what is a representative fraction scale? Now representative fraction scale or the ratio scale is the ratio of distance on the map to distance on the ground. It is actually called as RF. Now RF in a map or in a topographical map can be 1:50,000. The ratio will be 1:50,000. That means if it is 1 inch on the map, then it is equal to 50,000 inch on ground. Or if it is 1 centimeter on map, then it is equal to 50,000 centimeter on ground. It's a universally accepted scale as it uses local unit of measurement of distances in a particular place. Now what is a statement scale? A statement scale is written in a statement to express only. Okay, so it is actually only to express, it is written in a scale. For example, 1 centimeter on map represents 1 kilometer on ground, or 1 centimeter can even represent 10 kilometer on ground. Actually, it is a unit of measurement in smaller ways. And in this particular statement scale, the word equal to or equivalent is not used. It is never used. You cannot use the word equal or equivalent. That is, you can't say 1 centimeter is equal to or 1 centimeter is equivalent to 10 kilometer. You have to say 1 centimeter represents, 1 centimeter on map actually represents 10 kilometers on ground. So that is a statement scale. Okay, so I hope you have understood about scale, because scale is one of the important tools in reading a map. Next, let us know about directions. So the next important element is direction. Now to know a direction, okay, you should know that an important essential element that is given on a map is compass rose. Now what is a compass rose? The compass rose is something that is there on the map, it is drawn on the map, and it will indicate the direction. This compass rose, you can see the diagram on the slide. I have shown 2 compass rose. So these compass rose actually show it will be on the map, it is embedded on the map, it will be drawn on the map, and this actually will show you the direction of that particular land area. All the directions will be indicated on the map using this compass rose. Compass rose is also called as wind rose or rose of winds. So what this tells you is, this compass rose is a diagram or a drawing on a map that will tell you the directions of places that is shown on the map. So what are directions? Directions are imaginary straight line on the map or the ground showing the angular position of various maps with respect to common base direction. So basically direction shows the 4 cardinal directions, you know. So the 4 cardinal directions are north, south, east and west. On most maps, north points up, south points down, and east will point right and west will point left. And you know it goes clockwise around the compass rose. If the direction is in between these 4 cardinal directions, then we say the direction is northwest or northeast, southwest or southeast. When working with a map and compass, these are usually 3 different there are usually 3 different norths actually, and you have to consider those 3 different norths. So next we are going to know about the 3 different types of north. So when you're working on a map and with a compass, then you usually have to study these 3 norths, and these 3 norths are true north, grid north, and magnetic north. You must have right from your school days you must have heard about these norths: the true north, the magnetic north. So the grid north is actually seen on the map. So you have the third type of north known as grid north. Now let us go through all the 3 types of norths. True north, also known as geographical north, okay, is the northern axis of rotation of Earth. It's generated by Earth's rotational axis. It also refers to the direction along the surface of Earth as you proceed. It is also called as geodetic north. So as you proceed towards the geographic North Pole, okay, that means true north, okay, it also refers to the direction along the surface of Earth as you proceed towards the geographic North Pole. So what is true north? True north is also the northern axis of rotation of Earth. Okay. Next is magnetic north. Magnetic north refers to the direction a compass needle will point corresponding to the magnetic field lines of the Earth. And what is grid north? Grid north is used in map projection to refer to the direction northwards along the grid lines. It's the straight line up pointing north on map. Now all these 3 norths nearer never point in the same direction. So I'll go to the, see, all the 3 norths are pointing in 3 different directions. So all the 3 norths never point in the same direction. Now norths are important to understand the topography. If you want to understand the topography of that particular land area, then you should be able to understand the norths. The next thing you should understand is there is a difference between the magnetic north and the true north. I have shown you the diagram. There's a diagram at the bottom of the slide which actually shows you the difference between the magnetic north and the true north. So the difference between the magnetic north and the true north is it's called angle of inclination on a horizontal plane. Mostly it is referred as magnetic variation or declination. Now what is declination? What is the importance of declination, or what is the importance of magnetic declination? Now you have understood that it is a difference in angle between the north and the magnetic, true north and the magnetic north. Okay, it can be the difference between the true north and the magnetic north, or it can be the difference between the grid north and the magnetic north, which you call it as declination. Okay, and it is actually shown by the symbol delta. It's a Greek letter word. So the magnetic declination is actually given by the symbol delta. You can see that in the diagram. So what is declination? When we use a map and compass for navigation, we are actually using true north to determine our direction. But if we just follow our compass needle, it will bring us to magnetic north. So we need to calibrate our compass so that it compensates for the angle between magnetic and geographic north, referred to as declination. So topographic maps have a set of northern arrows, and it will give you a sense of how to use a compass with these arrows to get your true north. So this is what is declination. I hope you have understood about the 3 types of north, what is the importance of direction, and what is magnetic declination. Next, the important tool in map reading is compass. Compass is a tool that helps the user to know what direction one is headed. A compass is also used to help locate all the directions. In NCC, the type of compass that we use is known as prismatic compass. And prismatic compass is of two types. It is the dry type and the liquid type. And prismatic compass is a portable magnetic compass which can be used as a hand equipment. That is, you can carry the compass in your hand. So you can use it as a hand equipment. So in NCC, I told you we use prismatic compass, and it is of two types. You have the dry type and you also have the liquid type. So in this particular picture, I'm showing you the liquid type because mostly in NCC, in your map reading classes in NCC training, the compass that they give you is liquid prismatic compass to find or locate the directions or the bearing. So this is the photograph that you're seeing is liquid prismatic compass. So the liquid prismatic compass is a compass that contains a prism that is used for accurate measurement of readings. The liquid prismatic compass, you all are aware, okay, has major parts that can be studied. So the next diagram that you're seeing is the liquid prismatic compass, which is showing the different parts of that particular compass. So what are the major parts that you see in a liquid prismatic compass is magnetic needle, graduated ring, adjustable mirror, object vane, eye vane, glass cover, horsehair, lid, tongue, hairline, window, clamping screw, etc. So most of you must have handled the prismatic compass, and I think most of you must be knowing the different major parts of the compass also. So what is the use of this magnetic compass? Magnetic compass gives you various directions or bearings, and it tells you about various places from any one place. So if you want to know about various places from one place, then you must make use of this particular prismatic compass. I hope you have now an understanding of prismatic compass. So far in this map reading session, we have covered about maps, its types, topographic map, contours, conventional signs, map scales, directions, different types of norths, magnetic declination, compass, and parts of compass. So with this, we will complete and stop here in our map reading class, and let us have a break and meet again in the next class. Thank you.